I think that's a bit of a stretch there. Because
I'm seeing something now. I'm seeing excellent connection here.
No, not yet.
I suggest they may have revised the software. Which is, why not? Let's just launch a nice new firmware release in the middle of a Mercury.
Well, one has to wonder if, I got a message on my phone that we're going live.
So did I. So there you go. I guess we must be there. I think we're there.
One has to wonder about it.
We do. We are.
So I have my T-shirt on today to honor the coming together of the sun and the moon this morning.
Oh, the annular eclipse that was. Lots of people got their bodies out of bed early to take pictures, but it was cloudy in a lot of places.
A little cloudy.
It's a little sad.
A lot of people went to the walkway over the Hudson, I guess,
to
see what they could see.
Oh, what is this? Is saying hi. We'll catch replay later. Did say intentions this morning with eclipse for Celtic. Sparky, thank you.
Thank you so much.
You must be psychic as well, because we're going to talk about all sorts of fun stuff on. In fact, it is 11 o'clock. Good morning, Gilda. So good morning and welcome to Elevensies, the late morning show
with Lisa
and Anton. And that's me, so there you go. That's us, yes.
So it's Thoughtful Thursday today.
What should we think about? Hello, Shelby. Shelby joined us.
Oh, hi, Shelby.
Shelby, we had the honour of meeting Shelby yesterday. She's a fellow Leo, so there you go.
Oh, say no more.
Say no more. We like Leos. Well, I like Leos because I'm a Leo.
Yes.
What are you going to do? Nothing you can do.
All right. So today we thought we'd talk about personal environmental impact.
Oh, that's a fancy word, isn't it? You mean like maybe just, oh, please, Skittle. She's just impossible, this cat. She's like obsessive compulsive behaviour.
Yeah, that's
she will not stop.
So
hello, Wendy.
I have posted a little link to a thing called Terrapass. Calculate your personal carbon footprint.
Oh, gosh. Well, that's interesting. I know some of us have got a carbon footprint like a small country. I know we don't necessarily think about all of the stuff that we do, you know, just maybe even just running a tap while you're cleaning your teeth. I know I've been guilty of
So
that.
for those of you over on YouTube, it's Terra, T-E-R-R-A.
T-E-R-R-A.
Pass, P-A-S-S.com.
Terrapass.com.
Yep.
All right, I shall post that link. There you go.
And on there you can find how to calculate your personal carbon footprint, your business carbon footprint, things like that. So we wanted to just kind of put the idea in people's heads, because a lot of us have such high stress and such crazy lives that we don't really think about what's happening. Like when you go to the grocery store.
Yes.
If you could choose produce that is safe but unwrapped.
Oh, well, hell yeah.
It would be way better than having to take the produce that's in a styrofoam packet with plastic wrapped around it.
It's unreal, isn't it? If you think about the waste that we generate, because we all want everything nicely portion controlled, and somebody's gone to the trouble of cutting it up for us. Granted, we don't have time.
Right.
But that comes with a cost.
You
that
go
comes
to a
with
bin
a cost.
and you choose your peppers.
Yeah, get a knife and cut them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's just think about that one exercise. Let's think that you're going to make peppers and onions.
Well,
right?
That's one of your favorites, I think.
Okay. So you go to the store and you choose your produce.
Yeah.
Now, when the person comes home that just has 2 loose onions and 3 loose peppers, the onion skin and the onion peel and the seeds and whatever's left over that the person doesn't want to eat from those vegetables, they can put into compost. Right?
Good compost.
And recycle it. And you might say, well, I have an apartment, so I don't have any place to put compost. Well, you can use small containers that your milk came in, or whatever you want to chop and put your compost in. And then I'm sure that everybody lives in a village or a town or even a city where there is municipal gardens, and they will accept your compost.
More and more like local administrations are contemplating doing compost collection now. You know, we've got single stream recycling and all that sort of stuff, which
for
is
your
kind of
cans
cool.
and bottles,
Cans, bottles, papers,
plastics.
etc., etc. But composting too, because it's fantastic.
But look at the
nutrient.
difference between somebody who bought, the onions wrapped in styrofoam and the peppers wrapped with styrofoam. Now that person has 2 pieces of styrofoam and a bunch of plastic and their food waste, and they just scrape it all into a bin and it goes away magically.
Yeah.
To where?
To where? To the middle of the Pacific, probably. Into a massive garbage patch the size of France. Yeah, because we seem to forget. I mean, if you're just joining us, we're talking about changing our attitude to where we live, and it's all about being in relationship with the planet. And sometimes we get so wrapped up in our own world with our own problems and our own immediate crises that we need to deal with, that we forget that our actions have an effect not just on us, but I think in Native American philosophy for the next 7 generations. But the Native Americans, when they came up with that, didn't think about plastic because it probably wasn't around there. And every single piece of plastic was ever created still exists somewhere on this planet, pretty much. It takes hundreds of years to break down. It's, hundreds, if not thousands of years. I mean, for the convenience of it. I know when I was a wee baby, I don't remember this, but I do remember my mum telling me, they had this little Burko boiler, and
that was where she washed the diapers.
my nappies, diapers as you would call them over here.
Yeah.
And so they were boiled and they were clean and they were reused, but now we have these convenient things like Pampers.
I think more and more people are waking up to cloth diapers.
They take forever to break down.
Yeah.
And there are millions of these in landfills everywhere or floating around in the flaming Pacific or in the belly of a fish.
Well, what about the amount of wasted clothing? Right? Obviously, there's going to be times when clothing gets destroyed. You can't mend it. It's stained, whatever.
Right.
But
your mum would probably cut them up and use them as rags, I would think.
Well, you can use them as rags, yes, so that you're not wasting paper towels. You can use the pieces that are good for wiping up cloths or whatever.
At least paper breaks down.
Yeah, but you're killing a lot of trees that way too.
True. Yeah.
So yeah, if you want to cut patches from jeans to patch other jeans or whatever, but I'm saying sometimes you are going to end up with clothing that really you can't donate, right? The first choice is, this doesn't fit, I don't like it, I'm going to give it to someone who will love it, or I'm going to donate it to a place that's an ethical charity to resell it on to somebody else. So there's that. But there's tons, literally tons of clothing that get tossed. So look for a place that is going to recycle those clothings.
A lot of people do now.
There are places that are recycling the clothes in the fibers to make other fabrics.
Yeah, certainly if something endures, then it could certainly be recycled. And we try to get glass packaging as much as possible rather than plastic stuff. We try to reuse whatever we can reuse. Every bit of packaging that comes into the store is sent back out to somebody else. We reuse packaging. We recycle whatever we can. But even we could do more.
We could do better. We can always do better. Yeah,
we could. But we try to be mindful, and I think that's the first step, is just instilling in people that mindfulness. You cannot change the world. You cannot fix the world as a single individual. You can't. No. But you can look after your own square mile, can't you?
Christopher Hughes said when he first came, look after your own square mile.
Exactly.
And my dad always used to say that his favorite hymn was "Brighten the Corner Where You Are."
Oh, yeah.
And that's the same kind of philosophy. What are you doing where you are? Let other people do where they are. And pretty soon, what are you raising?
No, I'm just saying she's got a precognitive head on. Please keep going. I don't want to interrupt. I just want you to finish.
Okay.
You were saying, do what you can.
Do what you can where you are. Okay.
So Shelby just said she's sworn off buying big box store clothes and only buys pre-owned clothes from thrift shops. And good for you, Shelby.
That's awesome.
That is exactly.
There's a lot of good wear and love left in them.
Oh, hell yeah. And in some ways, you can be a bit of a trendsetter doing that because, like, what's old is new again. You rediscover fashions and, like, quirks, although I'm hardly...
Clothes are hot, yeah.
You can hardly call me a model of sartorial elegance, really, to be honest.
But honestly, I'm all for not keeping junk.
Right.
But look at it. Because sometimes your trash is someone else's treasure.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want this anymore? Absolutely not. Do you want to dust it, keep it, care for it, have the responsibility of it, whatever? Absolutely not. But if you just throw it in a bin, you're responsible still for where it ends up.
We were
try to give it to somebody who will use it.
Right. We were talking yesterday about, the pendulum swinging, because we were talking about the age of Aquarius and going almost from one extreme to another and then trying to find that balance in between. I wonder, in the war years, oh no, Raja, you can't join in too. I wonder, please don't end our broadcast. Please, just jump off, matey. Thank you. Never work with children, animals, or orange pussycats because he's just a nerd. She's lovely, but he's a pain. I wonder that, certainly my parents, going through the Second World War.
Right. You had to reuse.
Austerity, you had to stand in line to get a loaf of bread. You wouldn't throw anything away. You would just,
flour and...
You would, and it continued some way after the Second World War.
Well, absolutely. People sent their coupons to the Queen so she could buy a dress to get married.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you only had so many tokens. So people around Britain, sent their tokens to the Queen so she could have her
history lesson for Anton. But I wonder if this, like we always rebel against our parents. We always want to do like the opposite. We want to assert ourselves and come into our own personal power. I'm wondering if that boom when things started to come back together and the economy resurged after the end of the Second World War and all that. Things just became easy. We had TV dinners. We had and then we come into this disposable society.
Oh, the 70s.
Yeah, where it's just like use it up, wear it out, throw it away.
Yeah.
And it's almost like we've gone too far. I think I know the birth of the Industrial Revolution was one of those marked changes in the whole world. But certainly, I think the 70s is probably where the pollution really started to come, majorly pollution.
I'm going to say that we don't usually talk about politics, but I do want to say this. People don't realize it was Richard Nixon who began the Environmental Protection Agency.
Well, it only goes to show that nobody has got all bad.
And when I was little in school, I remember like these big campaigns, give a hoot, don't pollute.
Oh, God, and look at us. We were dumping all sorts of, even now.
Life chemicals, those ones that you can't clean out. Barrels of, oh my God.
And, excuse me, all the PCBs that wound up into the Hudson River, and they're still dredging it to try and clean
fish,
it out.
Like the Simpsons,
Yeah, cat's as mean as Skittle.
She's not so mean.
She's bloody mean. She's squeezed from the butt cheeks of Satan, I have to tell you.
She's lovely. Look how sweet she is.
But yet, whilst you personally may not be able to change the world, you can have a massive change in your own world.
If everybody does their bit, it has a knock-on effect, right?
Yeah.
If you don't waste gas, if you don't waste fuel, if you don't waste clothes, if you don't waste food, if you don't waste, and you just take what you need and no more.
Yeah, just what you need. Just what you need. And ask yourself if you... it's just one of the things I remember when my nephews came over. This is ages and ages and ages ago. And we were like just amazed at them. It's like the one kid, he's young, he's looking at, he's all fit and all this sort of stuff. In the shower, he'd use like half a bottle of shower gel. How? How do you possibly... how can you possibly use
You're thin and tiny and don't have much skin.
How do you do that? What are you, just squeezing it down the drain? What? And ketchup, just ketchup. Yeah. Have as much ketchup as you need, but don't empty the bottle onto your plate and leave it there.
Yep.
This is
it's because we are removed from where everything came from.
Maybe.
First of all, the beauty products and stuff are ridiculous, and they have a terrible environmental impact, and there are still some that have animal testing and all kinds of stuff.
Oh,
but why you would want to put chemicals, scrub chemicals into your body and put them down the drain into your water system?
Eternal
Terrible.
use.
Eternal.
There you go.
Okay.
The microbeads you're on about.
But when you're talking
you?
about ketchup,
Nasty.
we're talking about ketchup. People don't realize, how long it took to grow the tomatoes to make the ketchup and the effort to manufacture that ketchup. Make your own ketchup.
We're growing tomatoes.
We are growing tomatoes, and we will make ketchup. And
tomatoes. It's definitely tomatoes.
And what's even worse is the meat industry. Children not understanding what that piece of chicken is.
Go to the supermarket and get your chicken there. No animals are harmed that way.
Right.
Don't know much about factory farming, do you? Bless.
So, I'm not saying that everybody has to be a vegetarian, although we do need to understand meat is dead.
Good morning, Heather.
But think about how that animal lived, because you're taking that into your body too.
Mm-hmm. So, and what that animal ate.
Yeah.
It goes deeper. Excuse me.
It's the whole cycle of the water and everything.
It goes deeper than that. Yeah, this is when we do our hearth magic class, and certainly when you do your kitchen witching kind of thing. This is one of the things we try to get people to focus on. What you take into yourself. You're taking in everything that's taken in as well, right. And do you want something that's been tortured to death? Do you?
Or over-processed?
Yeah.
Do you want plastic
so full of chemicals
and
stuff? It's gonna.
If it takes you longer to read the label than it does to eat the item, don't eat it.
Don't eat that item. No. Because and
you can see by looking at us that we're not skimping on food.
But you cook rather well. I have to say.
We eat organic now because it's important. We're trying to take better care of ourselves.
We're trying to grow our own stuff. We have a little.
Obviously, we did put out a shout out for New Moon Magic today for anybody who would love to help eclipse out any blocks in our path so that Celtica becomes a reality. Mm-hmm. And I put a link to Celtica.org as well in the Facebook feed. Go, look, do your research there. Go and see what that project is about. Go and listen to the video on Celtica.org or look at the plans for bees and plants and animals. And
we're trying to instill back in people this idea of personal relationship. Because, I know it's terrible cruelty, but they always say don't poop where you sleep, But we've been doing that for as a people, as a race, for way too long now, and pretty soon there isn't going to be anywhere left to sleep if we've contaminated.
Certainly,
everything.
The last 50 years have accelerated environmental impact, and we really need to put the brakes on now.
And what I think sometimes, and I don't really want to get political because it doesn't serve any purposes. Heather says she's already put energy in this morning. Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. We appreciate that. And we appreciot your energy too, Sparky. And thank you very much for that. But we don't want to get into politics. And Wendy, yes, absolutely. Don't want to get into politics, but I think certain politicians rather gloss over things, if you will, and obfuscate the issue and, all this climate denying stuff and, it's all cyclical and blah, blah, blah,
Well, I'm
blah,
so
blah,
thankful
blah,
that the pipeline got...
Yeah, Keystone Pipeline, as they finally decided, is too much effort to destroy the world to, build more fossil fuels. And, there's a limit to the number of fossil fuels we've got.
Well, they need to put their focus on what's happening.
Renewables, yeah, absolutely. And this country could be a world leader in that if we chose to, just redevelop what we, this is how I make my living. Yeah, but it's exactly the same thing that you do, but just in a different industry, in an industry that I believe this country, America, could be a world leader in. And if we worked on humanitarian things and trying to make the planet a much better place, rather than, I'm not going to go down there.
No, don't go down there. Okay. But just the basics, food and housing,
we could do so better. What does it say? Do your best until you know better. When you know better, do better. And I think that's what it is. We now know better. And we owe it to our planet, we owe it to our future generations to provide them with the skills and at least somewhere where you can live, where it's the water's still drinkable and the air's still breathable.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a flourishing planet of gorgeous beauty, not a toxic nuclear waste dump,
Right.
which is where we're sort of headed, I have to say. So if you've got a heart and you want to get involved, please check out Celtica.org. Please, it is important, our lives depend on it.
Everybody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody.
Always.
And it's always who you know and not what you know.
Ultimately,
in the end
that's what it comes
raises
down
you
to,
to
isn't it?
success
Yeah.
in these kind of projects.
That's what it comes down to.
Last year with COVID, a lot of people or organizations that were big benefactors that gave grants or that gave donations for tax write-offs. I'm talking about people who, annually get involved in something, scholarships or some kind of projects. So if you know someone who's sitting on a donation that they'd really like to make, alert them to Celtica,
We'd
especially
really like to
if
help
they're
them put their
in
money to
the
use.
Hudson Valley, because it's something that could really benefit the Wallkill River.
Oh,
And
one of the nation's most polluted watercourses, unfortunately.
isn't that terrible?
Isn't it?
All right, would you please pull a card?
Of course.
Because we got to stop wittering on, as you say.
Oh, well, I'd like to witter on.
What I'd like you to do
Yes.
is give a really quick
Oh,
reading with this card and not just explain the card.
No
what's
pressure.
your reading for today? How bizarre. Isn't
We
that
had that
yesterday's
yesterday.
card?
Okay. Now is the time for action. Do not procrastinate any longer. Now is the time for action. Don't be worried about making the wrong decision. You can easily adjust your course, and you should. Can you tell me about Celtica? Yes, go to Celtica.org, Shelby. Celtica.org. Do it as soon as we hang up, so to speak.
Celtica.org. You'll be amazed.
Yep, you've already spelt the Celtica right. Just put a .org on the end of it, and you'll find out all about it.
And watch the video,
Yep.
and then look through the other pages, see who's who, and look at the projects that are lined up. My reading is the time is now to make the choice.
Yes.
Maybe you had a big decision to make for days or weeks or months or even years. Now is the time to pick one. You're going to go one way or the other. You can't sit and you can't hold these swords anymore. They're just getting too heavy.
Yep.
Get up off your butt and follow one plan.
Procrastination. You got to
No
make
longer-
a choice. Yep.
No longer.
Procrastination is not serving you.
No. You got your
get on with
list.
it.
You got your pros. You got your cons.
As
you gotta
they say, get her done.
Yep.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter if you go, oh, bugger. Then you alter your plan. It's that simple.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
Time
But
to take action.
Don't get all for, I can't because I'm not sure. That's what's stopping you moving forwards.
Yep.
Get off your butt. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now.
All right, people.
All right. Thank you
Have a
so
wonderful
very,
day.
very much for watching this. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. We want to be less of a well-kept secret because if we get well known, Celtica will come to be. And that's
So
what we are
mote it be.
endeavoring. So from our lips to the goddess's ears. And yes, thank you so much for...
Thank you all for your efforts.
Love you
and
to small
thanks
pieces.
for watching. Peace.
Have a beautiful day. Bye. Oh, what happened there?
It's being crazy.
That didn't want to do that. Okay.